For Thursday, February, dear God, it's almost March 28th. In 3, 2, 1. StarCast is proudly sponsored by DoghouseSystems.com. If you use the code StarCast or Biscuit at checkout, you will get double memory on your next Doghouse system. And also TweakedAudio.com. Go to TweakedAudio.com for high-performance noise-reducing earbuds. Use our code StarCast and get 30% off plus free shipping on your entire order. And finally, SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com. Daily quotes from the StarCraft 2 community. The site may suck, but the quotes are sick. And make sure to go check out their t-shirts in their new store. Once again, that's SC2QuoteOfTheDay.com, and we thank them for their support. Sponsor an episode of StarCast at thestarcast.com.
Hell, it's about damn time for StarCast.
Incoming transmission.
Biscuit.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 141 of StarCast, the StarCraft podcast. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and with me, as always, is Kyle Ferguson. How you doing, Kyle? It's Thursday. I don't have to work tomorrow, so it's technically my Friday, so be envious.
Oh man, tonight I'm pulled in so many different directions. I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm super excited for everything we get to announce tonight, and I'm super sad because, well, we're going to be in this show for about 2 hours, and that's 2 hours less that I get to participate in the beta, which closes tomorrow at an unbeknownst time, but probably like in that 5 a.m. blizzard time that things usually go down. So tonight's your last chance to get to level 5, get the sweet portraits, but that sadness is instantly replaced by excitement because it's only a 12-day wait, and our show tonight is super sweet.
Yeah, well, tonight's all right, other than the guests we have here at the top of the show, but the rest of the show's okay, but the things we have to announce about shows to come are so epic it can barely be contained. But nonetheless, let's get right ahead to the task at hand, which is introducing the third floating head on our overlay. If you're watching the live stream, some of you may know him. For those of you who do not, please welcome to the show for the very first time, Bill Duran of Punish Props. Bill, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How you doing, man? Is it cold there? I see you're bundled up with a hoodie.
Well, I'm down. My office is in the basement, and it could get a little chilly down here.
Oh, nice. We can't.
I also unplugged my heater because it's loud. So.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. we can't have basements in Florida because they would flood.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But you guys have pools for some reason, and those got to go in the ground.
For some reason, have you been here? It's hotter than shit. It's
So the ducks have somewhere to sleep.
Yes, exactly. Or to find snakes. That's always fun. For really unfortunate alligators. But that's a story for another day. But you may be asking yourself, what is Bill doing here? Or if you've listened for the past month, you're not asking that because you know that our sponsors, Doghouse Systems, have been running a really cool promotion in conjunction with Mr. Bill here. They're going to be giving away one of his Kerrigan ghost rifles. This is a full-scale replica that Bill, you're hand-making from scratch, correct?
That is correct. This is what I do for a living. I make space guns. How rad is that?
How did you... Okay,
You want the full story?
When I was in school and we had career day, that wasn't a choice.
That's the trick. All of the best jobs, they don't tell you. You have to find them for yourself. Yeah.
All right. See, I remember like watching Invader Zim, and they have career day at school, and they're like, paranormal investigator was one of the things. I was like, this isn't real life.
Yeah, all the best ones they keep hidden. You know, like body lotion applicator for supermodels. Like that's not on a list anywhere, but that's a job someone has. So
yeah. I remember seeing my first Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition and being like, someone gets paid to take these pictures? Tell me more.
Those guys get paid a lot of money too.
They do, and they should. They honestly should be doing it for free.
I would do it for free. I have a camera. A couple years ago, I started getting into the prop and costume making thing. I do cosplay with my friends. In fact, I've done StarCraft costumes. I played Jim Raynor one year at PAX, which was a lot of fun. And then in the last year, I took that hobby and turned it into a career. People started asking me to build stuff for them and offering to pay me to do that. I was like,
What a concept.
that sounds awesome. That sounds way better than publishing video for whatever the hell it was I did before. So I started doing that, and before I knew it, I had a commission list that was longer than I could ever finish. So I was like, just quit my job. Who needs that?
I hope to God I wake up one day with so many commissions for the stream overlays I do that I can just be like, you know what? Day job. You're done. Goodbye.
Overwhelmed with these awesome problems.
Oh yeah, it's tricky. When people are like, I want a Skyrim dagger. Can you make that? Sure. I want a gun from Mass Effect. Can you make that? Yes. Can I? What about a gun from Star? Yes, I can make all of these things. So long, day job.
Oh, I see. I foresee us getting slightly off topic, off the topic of StarCraft in a second, because both Kyle and myself are massive Mass Effect fans. Oh, see what I did there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've made a lot of Mass Effect stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, your Defender armor is awesome looking.
Oh, thank you.
But
that was fun. I wanted to pick an armor set, A, that I used in the game, and B, that no one else had done. And I've seen a couple more of them, but I wanted to be unique. So I did the Defender armor, and it makes me look huge, which is fun.
Well, you also do a weekly segment on the morning stream, which is probably my favorite podcast right now. I'm sorry to everyone, all of my other podcasting friends, but it's daily and consistent and funny. As the fitness, is it nerd or geek?
I go with fitness geek.
Fitness geek. Okay. All right. So you would be judging me if I told you I had Taco Bell for dinner.
Only briefly.
Briefly. Okay. All right. I was going to have a healthy dinner, and I forgot the thawed chicken, and it was bad. Yeah, I don't like microwave thawed chicken.
I had a bowl of tomato soup for lunch, so.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So I'm winning, but no one's keeping score. It's fine.
Nice.
No, I'm getting in shape for convention season. I have a new costume, Robin from Arkham City. And the shirt is rather tight, so
Oh yeah, I follow your Punish Props on Facebook, and I've been watching your progress on that. It looks really badass, especially with the short amount of time you've had to put it together.
Yeah, getting good at putting things together quickly and on a deadline has been the sort of skills that I've been honing in the last year or so. Having to do this to pay the bills means I need to do it quickly and well. So. Especially when it's like, there's a convention next week. I'm like, new costume, go.
Yeah, but backseat construction driving to the convention is like cosplay 101.
Oh, yeah. The trick is that you've got to get an AC adapter for your car so you can plug in your hot glue gun in the car.
Yes.
I've been there. Now, Kyle, you and I, unbeknownst, we didn't really know each other at the time, but we were both at a convention in Orlando, Florida one time in cosplay, both of us, but we just really didn't know each other. You went as the Prince from Prince of Persia, and I was Anakin Skywalker.
Yep, feet from each other most likely, but if you were 2 years before that, I was Falcon from Escaflowne.
See, I wouldn't have known who the hell you were for that one.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not familiar. I know it is an anime, and that is as far as my knowledge of Escaflowne goes. Yep. So, anyways, Bill, before
StarCraft.
Indeed, I have a video from you. You've been documenting your progress on the Kerrigan gun. So we're gonna roll that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to you. We'll dig in a little more than this 2-minute video provides.
You got it.
All right. So, rolling that now. If I found there it is. I'm such a terrible host.
Hey everybody, it's Chinbeard here, and I have made a lot of progress on the Kerrigan Ghost Rifle. Here it is so far. This is what I've got, and I still have a long way to go, but I've made some pretty long strides since the last time I checked in on this project, and I would like to share with you what I've done. The last time you saw, I was working on the scope, and I've made a lot more progress. I've added all these detail pieces and carved in a lot of the edges there. I've got to go in and do a lot of filling and finishing to get this up to shape, so to speak, but it's getting there. I've also lathed in 2 pieces. I had to lathe the barrel because it was so long it wouldn't fit on my 12-inch lathe. So that's going to be the barrel. I've got to go in and drill all of the detail holes, and there's some grooves that I have to go on there, so that'll be coming up soon. The body here, I've got the magazine nearly done. It just needs a little bit more finish work. And the body that's going to take most of the work. The stock hasn't been started yet, so I'll get on that here pretty soon. But the rest of the body is slowly starting to take shape. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the gun so far. So that's that. I guess I'll just keep plugging away at this. If you guys like what you see, go ahead and comment on this here video. If you want to keep up to date with this project and everything else I've got going on, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up there. That one, right there. And if you want a chance to win this rifle when I'm done with it, head on over to doghousesystems.com and go ahead and order any one of their computers. You were going to order a computer anyway, so you might as well get a really awesome gaming rig from the guys over at Doghouse. And when you do, use the code Kerrigan to check out. Then you'll be put in the running to win this guy when it's done. And that's it. I'm done.
So, looking at that, Bill, first off, about how much, do you have a rough estimate of how much time has already gone into what we just saw there?
It's kind of tricky because I have like 3 projects going on right now, including like building a new costume. So I should keep track of how much time I spend on them. But no, I have no idea. A lot.
Okay.
A lot. Let's go with a lot.
That's absolutely fine. I will accept a lot as an answer.
I have, and since then I've made some progress too, and I have the gun right down there if you want me to show it to you.
No,
Absolutely.
How dare you? Don't you dare turn that camera.
I'm gonna fly my camera over here. Oh goodness, there we go. There it is.
Okay, you've got the stock going now too.
Yeah, I started this the other day, the butt stock there, so that's going on there. This is a lot of this is MDF wood, and plastic. So this was the barrel was done on my lathe. Well, most of it was, and some more plastics and Bondo and some epoxy sculpt clay and all that good stuff. So I got the magazine. This giant freaking magazine comes out. So yeah, that's what I've got so far, and the modeling should be done in just a few more hours worth of work, and then I've got to mold it and then cast it out of plastic and paint it, and then it'll be done.
Awesome. Well, that's,
yeah,
that's great. It's funny. I listen obviously to a lot of podcasts since I am a podcaster. I listened a lot to the Adam Savage podcast, and if I've learned one thing from that show, it's that a lathe is the most horrifying machine ever created by man.
A lathe, the small ones can maim you, and the big ones can kill you. Hey.
Yeah, wonderful.
It's and I need a bigger one. Mine's tiny. I had to do the. By the way, this gun, it's hard to tell because I wasn't holding it. This thing is massive. I think it's 42 inches long, and it's gigantic.
Well, it's got to be big bullets to kill a Zerg, man.
Oh, I know. I mean, I don't know what caliber that is, but that's a big caliber.
It's like they invented a larger than 50 caliber bullet once they got into space.
Definitely. So this thing is 20 inches long, and my lathe is only 12, so I had to do this in 2 pieces. So obviously, I need a bigger lathe. Obviously.
Yeah. Just don't kill yourself with that. So with the scale, how do you figure something like that out? Because I don't believe there are schematics for every weapon in the StarCraft universe provided by Blizzard.
No, this one was a particular challenge because the in-game models for the Ghost is very low poly. It's a teeny tiny one.
Yeah.
And so even if I did get my hands on the in-game models, which I didn't, they would be useless because it's like a 10 polygon model for the gun. Everything I had to do for this, I had to grab from the cinematic, the Betrayal cinematic that they had.
Yeah, the flashback in Wings of Liberty campaign, freaking awesome cinematic.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I literally had to go through frame by frame on a YouTube video as high a resolution as I could find and just take screenshots of it. And you know what's funny is the new cinematic just came out, right?
Yeah.
Heart of the Swarm. And it's got Kerrigan in that, and she has this gun. And I am confident that is a different model because I went through every frame that they showed the gun. And I was like, that's slightly different. There's like she pulls the bolt back on it.
Oh, okay.
And I have a spot for the bolt right here, right? And it's just this little nub, but and it's also on the other goddamn side of the gun too. So I'm confident they've used, which is not uncommon for them to use different models for their cinematics. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the shot that you're talking about is in the new Vengeance trailer that just came out, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. I think that specific shot is a in-game cinematic, which is different from the pre-rendered cinematics. So, also the Betrayal cinematic takes place farther in the past, so it's likely that the ghosts have upgraded their weaponry.
This is the original one. This is the Betrayal version, and I'm sure that there's a Vengeance. Yeah, this is the classic.
Yeah, man, this is among the deepest, darkest, nerdiest conversations we've had on this show.
Well, this is my life, though. Looking at screenshots to get references. Like, I had to make a Skyrim dagger, and at the time, I only had Skyrim on my PlayStation. So that weekend, as part of my job, I went and I played all of the quests to get that dagger. And then I literally put my camera and took pictures of the TV to get my reference images. So welcome to my life. That's what I do, taking pictures of video games stuff.
It's not like we said before, not a bad job to have.
No, not at all.
So,
no. Thanks, Skyrim.
That's great. That was Skyrim.
So the rifle, the giveaway that's actually a pretty cool story. What happened was my old PC, my trusty old machine, the video card went pear-shaped on me, and everything else about the PC, it's old. It's like 4 years old, but the machine is fine, but the video card died. And I tweeted out, and I was like, "Hey, does anyone in Seattle have a video card that they want to get rid of or trade or whatever? I just need something so that my computer works, because without video, the whole thing's useless." And Clark from Doghouse Systems messaged me and was like, "Hey, we could do some sort of trade. You make props. We like props. We have video cards. You could trade." And I was like, yes, that sounds amazing." And then it sort of escalated to where they're like, could you build a big thing? And like, maybe we give you a whole computer? I was like, yes, definitely.
Who needs money? Let's go back to the day of trading goods. Like, I have 2 chickens. You can build me a shoe.
Yeah, my old PC is sitting there. I never even fixed it. I just got the new Doghouse PC, and I just swapped all the cables, and I'm like, screw you, old computer. But anyway,
I did the exact same thing when I got my Doghouse, by the way.
Yeah, it's sitting right next to it, too, and it's looking sad.
Aww.
Whatever. I don't need you.
I stripped mine for parts. I gave my old video card to my brother and kept my old hard drive for backup.
Yeah.
The rest of it is in a landfill somewhere.
So we struck this deal where I'm building them this rifle to do as a giveaway for people who buy any of their PCs, and then they made me a computer. I figured that was a pretty good deal, and now I'm using my Doghouse right now to talk to you guys. So it's pretty rad.
That is badass. Back to like the crafting questions.
Okay.
How hard is it? Because you do a lot of this freehand. You don't have you don't have like a 3D printer or like a milling machine that can do perfect symmetry, right?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's all I need to know. How hard is it to get things that are perfectly symmetrical? Like, obviously this gun has a lot of perfect symmetry to it. The scope, the barrel was laved.
It's not too hard, and it's also not too necessary. because unless you're a total like stickler, you never see the same side at the same time.
That's a good point.
But usually what I do, you say cut out by hand, but I have like a scroll saw that I use.
Right. But I mean,
If
it's not like you have a 3D model and you just hit go and it does it for you.
No, that would be nice, but no. What I'll do is if I have a piece that's on both sides, I'll take the raw material, and use double-sided tape to stick it together, and then cut out both sides at the same time, so it's so they're mirrored. They fit on both sides. So I'll do little things like that to save me a little bit of time when I can. But other than that, like for example, the top of the gun here, I had to sculpt these pieces, and I just did it. I just eyeballed it and sanded it and got it pretty close. So.
That is stupid impressive. Actually, I think to pull from nerd history, I believe the original Darth Vader helmet wasn't perfectly symmetrical.
I would believe that.
Okay. I remember when they were like remaking it for the end of Episode 3. To crap further on my childhood, it was they were saying this is the first time we've had a perfectly symmetrical Darth Vader helmet, and I was like, oh, that's it. I never thought of that, but that makes sense because back when they made the original one, they had to do it by hand.
Asymmetry is beautiful.
It is.
And as soon as I get a laser cutter, I will change my opinion of that.
You're just like, no, it must be perfect. Mirror image everything.
Yeah. I'll also cut out everything with my laser cutter. Hey, you need that sandwich cut in half? Give it over here. I'll cut it in half with my laser cutter.
I don't like crust. Perfect.
Yep. Perfectly cut off the crust on all my bread. Yes.
Oh, man. Oh, we have lost Kyle. This is a shame. Oh, no. Oh, the trials and tribulations of Skype. Bear with us, live crowd and podcast crowd, because we're honestly going to probably be way too lazy to edit this to where I don't inform you that we lost Kyle and then make it seem like he was never here. Or never gone. Yeah, that. So, you said you got a couple projects going at the moment. What else are you working on besides the Kerrigan rifle?
Well, I did a new costume for myself, my Robin costume, and I like how that's going. Just about done for Emerald City Comic Con tomorrow. I also most of what I do as a living, like to make money, is people order blank guns for me, so like Mass Effect guns and stuff, and I'll cast those out of plastic and send them to them, and they do all the painting and stuff themselves.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that way it's a lot quicker because it just takes a couple hours to cast something. It's a lot cheaper for them, and then I'm supplying cosplayers with that cool sort of sidearm or that accoutrement that offsets or sets off their costume. So I do a lot. I spend a lot of time casting things. What else have I been building? I have some commissions coming up. I built some anime dagger from an anime I've never heard of before. Boots. I'm making shell boots from Portal. That's coming up.
Oh, that's sweet. I can't wait to see those. I'm a massive Portal fan.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Man, what I would like to say, what I was thinking when Clark came to me and he said that you were doing something for me, he's like, all right, Bill's building something for us. I can't tell you what it is yet, but it's StarCraft related and you're going to be excited. My brain immediately went to the Hydralisk skull in the bar in the beginning of Wings of Liberty. I was like, oh God, please let it be that. Not to diminish from the rifle. I'm very stoked to see the finished rifle, but if I ever fall on a bunch of unnecessary money, expect a commission from me.
That is something I would have a lot of fun making too. And I am accepting commissions.
Woo. Well, someone else can commission it, and then I'll just buy one of your unpainted molds.
That's fine.
Casts.
We can do that too. I'm flexible.
There we go. Yeah. Soon, coming to the StarCast background, you will see a Hydralisk hanging behind me.
A skull would be pretty easy to finish too, because I could cast it in a bone-like color, and then just weather it and send it out.
Sweet.
That is rad. Yeah.
Kyle, you're back. Do you have any questions for Bill?
With a gun this size and of such ridiculous sci-fi proportions, do you have to paint the end of it orange?
Well, what I will usually do if I'm... for example, I made some Team Fortress guns for a dude, and it's something that he was planning on bringing to a convention. they're cartoony, but they look like normal guns. They're not like outlandish. So what I did was I made some removable orange end caps for him, so that he could, when he has it on display at home, he doesn't have to have the orange caps in them. But when he was at the con, he put an orange cap in there, just that added sense of, hey, this isn't a real gun. Please don't shoot me, Mr. Police Officer. So, for something like this, if you were going to bring it out in public, you could just put a little cone on the end of it, I guess. So, yeah.
I would just risk it. I'd be like, screw it.
Yeah.
This is too awesome.
I walked around New York City with my Mass Effect Defender armor and my Paladin pistol. And when I was outside, I just had my friend carry the gun. I did not want NYPD.
You go ahead and get tackled.
When I was wandering around Times Square in my armor, but I did not have the gun. It's just it's common sense, folks. You know,
It's not functional armor. You know, they can shoot at you, and you will indeed get shot.
It would not. That armor would provide zero resistance for a bullet.
That'd be great.
Damn biotic shields.
Oh, wondrous. Well, Bill, it's been great talking to you, man. Thanks for coming on and showing us your work. I'm sure we'll get like at least one hate comment. It's like, oh, this is a big commercial for your sponsor. No, it wasn't. Bill is awesome. I really dig what he does, and I was just looking for an excuse to have him on. So when I heard he was building a StarCraft rifle, I was so happy that I finally had an excuse to bring him on.
And I make StarCraft stuff too. I made those Protoss pylons a while back.
Yeah, which famously enough, Day 9 has one of your pylon.
Yeah, he does.
lights.
Someone who works for him commissioned me to build a couple of those, and he ended up getting one, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to talk to him at the CSL finals last year, and off air, I was like, "Oh, do you know Bill?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, he made my lamp."
Yeah.
But I hear that model is ruined, so you cannot construct additional pylons.
Yeah, I know. Oh, geez, boy, wow.
That's so sad.
Oh, I wish I have a poster. Someone made, and I ordered it immediately when I saw it. It's just a Protoss dude pointing like Uncle Sam. And it says like, "I want you to construct additional pylons."
Nice.
So I bought that poster because for a long time after I posted that project, I got lots of people emailing me wanting one, and I made a couple of them, but the mold broke, so I can't really make any more, unfortunately. So I've had to turn a lot of people away for that particular one. But
that's a shame.
I got that poster just because like every email I got for like 2 months.
I need a pylon.
Oh man.
You are permanently supply blocked now.
Yeah, I know.
That's no
Oh,
good.
damn it. I think I made 5. I think the total I made was 5 of them. Yeah, that's all that are out there, and I ain't making any more. So they're just, the value of those is just gonna skyrocket.
That's a shame.
All part of the master plan.
Yep.
Well, awesome, dude. Well, before we let you go, where can people find you? Anything else you'd like to pimp?
Yeah, well, first of all, if anyone's going to be at Emerald City Comic Con, I will be there. I will look like Robin from Arkham City. That's my costume, so come say hi. But other than that, all of my work can be seen at punishedprops.com. I've got a store there now. I just put a bunch of crap on there. You can order blank kits. You can commission me to build stuff. You can buy. I wrote a book on prop making that's up there. That's like $5, so go get that. What else is there? Oh, I'm doing a lot of videos now on youtube.com/punishedprops. So doing a lot of shop work, how-tos. I'm going to start doing interviews with other costumers. Twitter.com/chinbeard, and Facebook.com/punishedprops. So I think that's the lion's share. That's everything for you right there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Bill, and we'll have to maybe we'll have you on again once you've finished it, and you can bam show your shiny new
Strike some
ghost
poses
rifle
with it.
I'm gonna it needs to be done before Heart of the Swarm, so I've only got like 12 days.
You have 12 days exactly.
Yeah, so it will be done soon, and when it is done, I'm gonna get some really good photos done of it with a friend of mine who will play Kerrigan. So she doesn't have the full costume, but we're gonna do like an off-duty Kerrigan with the rifle sort of photo shoot. So that'll be a lot of fun to promote.
See, I was hoping you would dress up as Kerrigan.
You say that, but if I can get, and I tweeted this a couple days ago, if I can get tickets to BlizzCon, which is of course wicked hard to do, if I can, I'm gonna make a dude Kerrigan costume.
Really?
Because I will already have the gun.
Yeah, King of Blades, do it.
Yes, that's what I did.
That is awesome.
This is all contingent upon whether or not I can get tickets to BlizzCon, but I will totally do that.
Talk to Scott. I'm sure he can nail you. Get you one.
I was planning on doing that.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. No one else bother Scott.
All right. I guess I should go work on this gun some more, huh?
Do work, son.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming, Bill. We'll talk to you again.
Toodaloo.
See ya. Oh, that was fun. That is exciting. I wish I had a job that cool.
Oh, man.
That it? That's all you had to say was, oh, man?
Well, yeah. I mean, jealousy runs deep. That's a sweet job.
Yeah, indeed it is. So, again, go check him out at props.punishpixels.com for Punish Props. Oh, Kyle. That's it. That's all we had to talk about, right? Nothing else?
No, we have so much to announce.
Oh, we do. Oh, it's delicious. So, yeah. Where should we start? I know where to start. Big changes for StarCast. Let's talk about this. Let's get real close and be like, hi, guys.
Let's get intimate here.
Yes, let's get real intimate. We are no longer going to be broadcasting our live show on AMove TV. Do not fret. AMove TV is going to still be around. You can still find all the wonderful other shows we currently have. This Week in Blizz, biggest fan, The Gamers In. As a matter of fact, Bill is going to be on The Gamers In tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. But StarCast itself will be moving to the Handsome Nerd Network. If you're not familiar with the Handsome Nerd, you should be, because it's affiliated with Tasteless and Artosis. And they're starting a channel. You can go there right now and subscribe. It's twitch.tv/thehandsomenerd. And we're going to be there. Same time. It's still Twitch, so you can come in on your normal account, chat with us live. And it's going to be freaking awesome. So what else is going on there? Well, we're not the only show joining. We're going to be on there along with our friend Clutch. His show Shifting Gears is going to be on there. Chan Man's Pro Corner and Climbing the Ladder is going to be on there. Duckville's Under the Ladder. Coaching with Clarity. I've also been told to expect a show from JP, and that's about all I can say there. Don't know which one it'll be. There's also going to be show matches, gameplays, tournaments, tons of other stuff. And also coming very soon to StarCast will be a guest appearance by Artosis himself, so you can expect to see him right here on this show. So we're still Thursday nights. We're still 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're just moving over to twitch.tv/thehandsomenerd. So make sure you head on over there and hit follow and catch all of the wonderful esports content that's going to be over there. And they're still getting shows now, so it's going to be a fully stacked channel of video gaming awesomeness.
Oh, and if you watch, GOM TV, the GSL, you've heard them talk about Handsome Nerd in the past. They've been putting this together for a while, and it's so awesome for us to be part of that programming. Super excited to be joining them over there. And if you're a podcast listener, nothing's changing for you. You're still going to get the iTunes feed. No worries there.
Yeah, it's yeah, like I said, nothing's really changing there. Our YouTube's going to keep going. You can find our VODs at youtube.com/StarCast Show. I do a really bad job of pimping that on here. We're actually keeping it up to date now. I know we started it forever ago and then screw it. But it's up to date now, so go to youtube.com/StarCast Show and follow us on there as well. But yes, twitch.tv/thehandsomenerd. That's where we'll be from now on. And we couldn't be more excited. I'm just stoked to finally be able to talk about this.
Yes.
Been sitting on this for so long.
Another event that, we're stuck in our day jobs. You want to holler, you want to turn to the guy next to you. He doesn't care.
Nope.
He doesn't watch esports. He doesn't know what's going on. Tell him anyway.
They're asking me how to send emails. That's what's going on in my day job. So, I love you, coworkers. If you somehow found this and figured out how to press play, that's. I'm gonna purposely bring this up tomorrow and show that to one of them because they can take a joke. The announcements do not stop there, though. No. We have we're booked for 5 weeks straight of guests, Kyle.
Yes, we have such an awesome Heart of the Swarm launching lineup. I mean, we got some emails last week. We kind of hinted that we were going to be bringing back the noobisodes. If you're not familiar with those, going to have a pro player on to go, one episode, one race. And we're going to break it down for new players and old players alike, getting back into Heart of the Swarm, the new units, just general gameplay. We've got pro players lined up for that. We've got a pro player next week. And we've got a voice actor coming on the week after the release who happens to be a big name in that particular game.
Yeah, let's go through this. Next week, this is going to be the 7th of March. We're going to be having S Ro4 joining us. He's a pro player. We'll be talking to him, interviewing him. Then on the 14th, our first episode after the launch of Heart of the Swarm. We will
2 days after Heart of the Swarm.
2 days, yes, 2 days. We will be having Robert Clotworthy on. You might be saying to yourself, who's Robert Clotworthy? Oh, nothing big at all. He's just Jim frickin' Raynor. We're having Jim Raynor on the show, everyone, so make sure you tune in for that. He's going to be on the show live, so you'll be able to talk to him in the chat room over on the Handsome Nerd Network. You can send us emails, starcastshow@gmail.com, whatever you want to ask him about it. I'm going to be doing my best to beat the game the day it comes out, and Kyle, you better do the same, because I want to have a spoiler-ridden discussion with him. Do not tune in if you're going to take your time on the campaign. As I will not be being nice. I don't believe in spoilers. I don't care.
No, I'm just so excited to ask him. I mean, there was a good 10-year stretch in between him playing this character again. It's going to be so interesting talking to him about getting back into it and just like the difference. I mean, we got a brooding Raynor now, and in the past we had the vigilante Raynor, and just all the other work he's done. I can't wait to ask him some questions about his voiceover work on Ancient Aliens.
I knew you were going to be excited for that because I know that's a show you enjoy. So that's very cool. But it doesn't stop there. Like you said, we have another 3 weeks booked. After the episode of Jim Raynor, after our Heart of the Swarm launch episode, we will be having 3 weeks straight. The noobisodes are returning. We did them in the past for the Wings of Liberty launch. We're doing them again. This is going to be a back to basics, sit-down chat with 3 different pro players and kind of talking to you, helping you get back into the game. We're going to talk to them about a lot of the mistakes that they see your standard player making and how to improve your play. We'll be taking questions for all of these players. You can email us at starcastshow@gmail.com. You can post them in the forum over at thestarcast.com/forum. And those players are as such. Week 1 will be March 21st. It's going to be Protoss week, and Harstem will be joining us for that. That's going to have the talk with him is going to have to be pre-recorded because he is in Europe and the time difference is pretty massive for us. So if you want to ask him questions specific to Protoss, you're going to need to send them in via email or on the forums. Week number 2, which will be March 28th, is going to be the Terran episode, and Nama will be joining us. Again, he is in Europe. It will have to be pre-recorded. Send your questions to starcastshow@gmail.com. And then week number 3, which will be April 4th, is going to be Zerg week, and LZ Gamer, Jacob, a good friend of the show, he will be joining us, and I believe he will be on live. But you can also still send questions in for him to the email account or post them on the forum, or even on our Team Liquid thread. We have a Team Liquid thread, so if that's your forum of choice, go and post them there. So, dear God, that is it for the StarCast announcements. Again, go follow twitch.tv/the Handsome Nerd. I can't think of a better title of a channel for Kyle and I to be on because we are indeed the handsomest of all nerds.
Naturally.
Well, Kyle, anyway. I might be giving myself a little more.
Sure, I mean, we do have
deserve.
to pay some respect to our handsome nerd overlords who set up the website, of course. The most handsome of nerds.
Yes,
but
indeed.
We are at least part of the bracket leading to the most handsome of nerds now.
Yes. Yes, and then next week, tune in for S Ro4. The week after that, for the launch week, tune in for Jim Raynor, a.k.a. Robert Clotworthy. And then the 3 weeks after that, tune in for the noobisodes. And we've got even more guests on the on the burner for that. But people, we're not going to tell you 2 months out. Just tune in, keep watching. It'll be fun.
I don't even know what next month is.
Next month is March, and it's tomorrow.
Well, yes. Okay. They're listening to this tomorrow. I don't know what April is. Wait a minute. No.
Oh, no. There it is.
Fourth wall blown.
Yep. So there it is. If that's not enough podcast content for you, well, then watch everyone else on the Handsome Nerd Network. Now, let's get into StarCraft news. Dear God.
The official show.
The official show is starting right now, and it's going to start with a little video that happened this past week. Let's roll it.
Proud Dominion citizens, the Zerg threat has been removed. Their swarm is leaderless. We have won.
The killing will never stop until Minsk is dead.
Forget Minsk. I moved heaven and earth to bring you back, Sarah.
There's something dark in me, Jim.
Kerrigan, you betrayed us all. No, you're not even human anymore.
Stand down! I never gave up on you, Sarah. Don't you give up on us!
I now see my true enemy. I am the swarm. Armies will be shattered. Worlds will burn. Vengeance shall be mine.
How many innocents have you killed? How many more have to die? What if Raina could see you right now?
What have you done?
What I had to.
Okay, so we have some hat eating to do, Kyle.
Well, first I have to eat the whole hat. And the bill and all, and it's one of those bent bills, and I took the sticker off already. I said I wouldn't watch it, and you know what? I'm horrible. When it comes to Christmas presents, I always pick them up. I always shake them. I always feel in there. I'm like, oh, that feel, look at that, and it kind of bends in the bump. Oh, that's got to be an action figure. Yeah.
I could tell an action figure from a mile away if it wasn't inside another box. Just saying. It's got that bump where the plastic is. You know exactly what it is. And you can even tell from the size which series it was from. It's like, oh, that's Jurassic Park. That's Ninja Turtles. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, last week we talked about the Vengeance online event that Blizzard was putting on. We're kind of like, it's a trailer. That usually means like TV spot. Why are they making a big deal out of this? It wasn't a TV spot. It was indeed a trailer. If you just saw it there, it was pretty much a full length, something you would see before a freaking film. And it was awesome. My hair stood up the first time I watched that.
Oh, I mean, how can you not get nerd chills if you've been following this game? I mean, bought the battle chest when you're in ninth grade. I mean, seeing the story continued is just so exciting.
Yeah, I'm very, very stupid excited for this. So, hey, there's that.
But it came with a full event. I mean, we had some Blizzard devs sitting down with the community manager Cloakin now. I believe Rob Simpson recently left for a different job, still in video games.
He left for Red Bull.
That's right. So he's still working esports at least.
I believe so. There hasn't been too many details on what his specific role is, but I'm assuming if Red Bull hired him, it's going to be esports related.
And, Cloakin did a good job, working with the developers there, talking about it. They took some questions from Twitter. A bit of an excuse to start getting Vengeance tweeted, hashtagged, and get the excitement going. And, of course, this ad is running on twitch.tv right now, on YouTube. And
everywhere. It's running everywhere.
Exactly. And in classic Blizzard fashion, it will be on TV this week.
Indeedy-doo. Was it really? It has to be truncated somewhat. 2 minutes is a long time for a commercial.
Sure. Well, yeah, they'll probably stick to more of the cinematic. And some people were upset that we saw the cinematic that we saw last week, the opening one, kind of cut in between some
whatever
in-game footage, or in-game rendered anyway.
There were some people. There were definitely some shots in there that were pre-rendered, that were from a cinematic that we haven't seen though.
Most certainly. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff in there, and we'll break that down in a moment here. But it was just so interesting to hear people upset about this, and I didn't want a pile of information. I'm glad that I can, kind of feel at my Christmas presents through this, but I didn't want a whole new cutscene by the time I get the game. I mean, remember when Disney used to put together those special events? I remember particularly one for Hercules, showed every damn good joke that was going to be in the movie. By the time I saw it, it was a piece of crap.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Oh, they do them on like ABC, like before Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Oh, well, that's what you get for watching Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, I guess.
Well, I'm in middle school at the time, so excuse me.
I was too busy watching Darkwing Duck, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah, it definitely worked. I mean, I saw a lot of buzz using the hashtag vengeance on Twitter. I weighed in, mostly about my annoyance with a few select pro players who were the amount of the negativity was really, I found, obnoxious. There were a couple pro players that were like, this is a snooze fest. Why don't they just give us a balanced game? Or my personal favorite was, if only Dustin Browder put as much effort into making a balanced game as he did into the lore. And I just wanted to punch these people in the teeth and just be like, listen, this isn't for you. This is not for you.
Like, there comes that point where every parent has to lock the door and let their kid cry. I mean, Blizzard has given us a gift by continually balancing this game. They don't have to. I mean, once the boxes are sold, it's done for them.
That comment is definitely going to get us some Blizzard apologist hate. But, I mean, yes, it does. I would argue with you there. It does need to be balanced because it is a game that they are striving to be an esport. So, I think you're swinging the pendulum too far in the other direction there.
No, I absolutely am. But, I mean, just the entitlement of that statement. And I understand, that's your livelihood. I mean, we can, in everyday jobs, you complain about your boss or someone else got promoted over you. And, when you see something like a Marine having too many hit points, it can feel that exact same way. I understand it, but this is not the time for those comments. You had a forum to feedback through the entire beta. This is a day about lore.
And yeah, this is a hype fest. This is for us who are geeks who came to the game originally because of the story. We want to see Jim Raynor, we want to see Zeratul, we want to see Kerrigan. That is what this event was initially about. They did end up taking questions about balance, about esports and stuff like that.
Well, and we know the pro players that are, invest in the game, and they're the ones who are often having fun. When we get to these other pro players who are making comments like this, they'll probably bail ship once the next big esport moneymaker comes along. In fact, we've seen a lot of them leave for LOL already.
Yeah, only ones I don't really give a shit about.
Exactly.
But I'm not hating on pro players. This is only a few of them, and it was the usual suspects, the people I would expect to be giant negative Nancy's whose egos are way bigger than their skill. But I don't know. There was still plenty of pro players being positive, just like the rest of us. I don't know. I was really excited because you heard me last week. I was not excited for this at all. I was like, why are they doing an event for a commercial?
It did seem a little odd. And, Blizzard is very tight-lipped about storylines coming out. So the whole interview, we didn't really know what was going to come of it. And in fact, the overwhelming feeling seemed to be nervous. I mean, of course, these are guys who spend the majority of time in front of a computer, I'm sure, or with like-minded people.
I think the three Blizzard devs were all good. I think Cloaken came off as a little nervous, but I think he's just not used to being in front of the camera.
Sure, but and I mean, nervous also in the sense of the game. I mean, they're pretty concerned about having a villain as the main character of their entire game. They want to make sure you can relate and that she's at least likable enough, but not so likable that you can't enjoy her tragedy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really stoked for that. I wouldn't call her a villain, really. If you were playing as Manx, I'd say yes, you are playing as a villain. But Kerrigan is a mixed bag. She's
Yeah.
not black or white. She exists in this very nebulous realm in between. And Raynor, I guess, does too, but Raynor's definitely gray, but closer to white. Like he's closer to the good. Kerrigan is gray, but definitely closer to the bad.
No, they definitely said that. I mean, Raynor really can do no wrong. In the campaign, in fact, you usually had to make the decision between the right choice and an equally right choice.
Yeah.
In this one, if we're going to have these sort of multiple storylines, we don't really know that. They've said they kind of pulled back a little bit on that since the choices aren't really carrying through to the next game. But it's a very different character.
Yeah. Oathmaster makes a really good point. He says, we'll know by the end of Heart of the Swarm if Kerrigan is going to be the villain of the story or not.
True.
And I can tell you right now, I don't think she's going to be. It's going to be the Dark Voice. It's going to be the Xel'Naga hybrids.
Most certainly. This trailer very much made it seem like we were going to clean house for the Protoss arrival in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, like I said, my hypothesis, my guess, my assumption for the story that was about to unfold in Heart of the Swarm is I believe Manx's line is going to get wrapped up in one way or another.
Oh my goodness. You know what? The second he said, the Zerg threat has been removed, I'm like, oh, you jackass. Last time the Zerg threat was removed, it's because you guys were pumping drugs into it all day with a bunch of medics at the end of the first campaign, which didn't go well.
Yeah, it went really well for you.
And
I like that you're getting like impassionately angry at him as if he is a real politician.
Oh, well, he's a dick, frankly.
So he is a real politician.
Well, yeah, and in the last game, he was pulling the whole, I didn't ask to be here. And like, yes, you did. And you killed everyone along the way who got you there. No, he's a great villain. I'm really looking forward to taking him down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, Garrett, be my judge here for the fans. How much do you want me to, like, break down some of the picture by picture in this thing? Because, like I said, I feel my Christmas presents. I shake them.
Go, man. Like, I mean, I'm giving my guesses. I think Manx's story is gonna get wrapped up, whether he dies or not. He's either gonna be like locked away in a temporal prison for the rest of time, or like Ganondorf him so he can come back later. I don't know. And I think it's going to happen sooner than we expect. I don't think it's going to be the climax of the game. I think we're going to wrap him up midway and then get slammed with this threat of hybrids, and that will lead us into the final conflict of what's going to happen in Legacy of the Void. So now that I've given my guesses of me shaking my own present, go right ahead.
Well, let's start with that hybrid thing, because we're clearly on Xeris. I mean, we had the jungle Zerg world in the background, the Zerg home world, and we had this, like, screaming hybrid, like, lava but hydraless dog beast for a split second.
No, they focused on it longer than that. Yeah, it's something new. We've been told the entire game is going to be about going to different planets and assimilating new species.
Yes. And we have this... Well, frankly, we have a fully returned infested Kerrigan who is wailing the crap out of Raynor.
Yes, like beating him senseless.
So this leads to two different conclusions.
Dream sequence.
What?
One could be a dream sequence.
Sure. And we have, we have the kind of hand twitch.
D-Rest in the chat room. Domestic violence. You're killing me, guys. Sorry,
but, we have that like hand twitch and like an egg sac or a vial. We don't know if that's like infested Kerrigan. If we're having another flashback, which I would frankly love to have a fully realized cinematic of Kerrigan becoming the Queen of Blades for the first time, because the mission was cool back in the day. You defended her with the hunter killers till she finally hatched. She said, I'm here, I'm infested. And it was kind of a big deal, but it wasn't a production.
Right.
This is a laser from space. The Mutalisks are all like, yay, and flying around in circles. Yep. The queen has arrived, so we don't know if she's going to completely become reinfested. There's clearly scenes in this trailer of her with normal-ass hair. So, again, are we flashing back?
That was the part I was crazy about. There's a scene where you see her with what looks like a side blade on her arm, but she has her red normal hair back.
Well, she's also beating the crap out of what looks like Zeratul at 1 second.
Yes.
So we could have a big smackdown going down in what looked like a hive, and then there's another smackdown where Raynor gets his ass beat going down in what looks like a Zelnaga. Yeah. But we know Zelnaga artifacts are going to play back into this. And I want to know, well, this is where that Minx line comes in. The Zerg threat has been removed. Last time it was removed, they were trying to control it. I think Minx got himself a clone Kerrigan. And maybe it's Zelnaga artifact. Either way, I think Kerrigan's going to be actively, physically fighting her infested self, whether it is, in fact, a Minx clone, or it's done through some sort of... it's done in sci-fi movies all the time. The only examples I can think of is an Animorphs book when I was real young, but Army of Darkness, where he has the eyeball on his shoulder and then it grows and he has to like split from his evil self.
Yes, evil Ash.
Exactly. So maybe she has to actively remove the infestation from herself, and it becomes its own person, and she has to fight that person. Because clearly, when she has that big old blade, if you pause it, there is a Queen of Blades boob sack in the corner of the screen.
Boob sack.
Well, there's no nipple on it.
That's elegant, Kyle.
Infested boob, yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, again, we're kind of, we don't really know what's a flashback, what's happening in real time. A lot of heat was taken on this trailer, too, because he said, I never stopped caring about, or I never stopped believing in you. And everyone goes, but wait, in Brood War, you said, I'm going to kill the crap out of you, Kerrigan.
Yeah, indeed. I think we have a sound clip of that.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's see if we play it.
He died because you betrayed him. How many more noble souls do you need to consume before you're satisfied? How many more people need to die before you realize what you've become?
You don't even know what you're talking about, Jim.
That's Kerrigan.
Don't I? I'll see you dead for this, Kerrigan. For Phoenix, and all the others who got caught between you and your mad quest for power.
Oh, okay. See, I totally forgot about that.
Sure. And you know what? She did just kill his best friend, basically. And not only his best friend, this is a white guy in space. So, human races, we're always like, oh man, I'm so cool. I have a gay friend. I got, a transsexual friend. I got a black friend. So he's in space now. All the human races, we're over them. But to have a Protoss friend, now that's seriously badass.
Yes, if nothing else, now Raynor can be racist towards other Protoss because, hey, I've got a Protoss friend.
Exactly. He's got his warp cred, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, warp cred.
So, he's a little impassioned.
Yeah, I mean, but we've seen... I can see Blizzard kind of glazing over that little bit of information because, I mean, they also made a lot from nothing when they got into Wings of Liberty. In the original StarCraft 1 and Brood War, there really wasn't any allusion to a romantic tie between Kerrigan and Raynor.
Yeah, other than the fact that when they met for the first time, he was apparently thinking something very sexual because she's a telepath.
Yes, but that's about it.
Yeah,
that's as far as that went. It was like, haha, telepath joke, and done.
Yeah, and we were both working for the guy who betrayed us. We kind of fell in love, but not until StarCraft 2, when he's caressing a picture of her, do we kind of realize there was more happening in the background.
Right. And obviously, I mean, I'm sure Blizzard wants to tell a more human story. They've gotten better with storytelling than they were when they made StarCraft 1.
Oh, and they have a lot more tools and a full cinematic department.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, anyways, that is that. I don't want to linger on this too much and potentially spoil the game anymore.
But other than that, we had the show match between Grubby and Crazy Moving, which was actually a really good game. It was a one-off, so I assume it was a bit of a play a best of 5 and we'll pick the best one. But it really showcased some of the new abilities, particularly Abduct. Oh my goodness, Crazy Moving, grabbing, singling out 3 different immortals and ripping them over the top of the force fields into the Hydra Roach Ball was fantastic. And then Grubby just... Ultralisk Hydra, and particularly with the new Ultralisk in Heart of the Swarm, is just devastating. And Grubby, just this counter that he pulled was awesome. I mean, check it out for the show match. It was a great go. And of course, you have Apollo and the Total Biscuit casting that.
Yeah, more British than you can handle. So, anyways, in other Blizzard news, the official Heart of the Swarm launch events have been announced. It's going to be all day, all around the world. The U.S. event is going to be happening in Irvine at GameStop. This is going to be March 11th. It starts at 9 p.m. Pacific. This is at the Giant Wheel Court at the Irvine Spectrum Mall. And there's going to be appearances by Mike Morhaime, the president and CEO of Blizzard Entertainment, Chris Metzen, Chris Siggety, Sam Didier, who I'm a massive, massive fan of. I've met him multiple times. Sam is such a cool dude and such a great artist. And then we're going to have some pro show matches. There's going to be live matches between Pult, MC, Suppy, and Vibe. And they're also going to select 2 attendees to play on the side of Suppy and Vibe in a 2v2. Which I'm actually kind of excited to see.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty sweet. I mean, this event is global, and it's quite cool. I mean, we're starting for us in America, in California. I mean, we're starting at 7 p.m. on the previous day. Am I looking at this right? Yeah. And going from Australia, they have their launch event, in South Korea, and over to Day 9 doing his own community event, which he is streaming in the meantime. Then we get to Europe, and guys, Europe, you got too many languages because you have 4 different events. You got an English one going on in France, you have a French one going on in France. Oh, we actually have a German one going on. It's all happening in France, but it's Russian, German, French. So awesome there, global event, and finally wrapping up for our midnight release in Irvine, California.
Yep. I think Day 9's event is going to be at the Irvine event as well.
Yeah, he's just streaming in all the mean times.
Right, exactly, which is a great guy to be filling in that void. So very cool. I am so very jealous if you are able to attend this. I wish so much that I could be there.
Oh, and just they're doing it right. I mean, they went to the casters. They got some pro players together, some really great ones too. And this is going to be a great event.
Yeah, indeed it will be. Switching gears, the beta is ending tomorrow, but we had a slight balance update last week. It's a Hellbat nerf again. What a surprise. The transformation to and from Hellbat mode now requires the transformation servos upgrade from the factory tech lab. And the transformation servos requires an armory and costs 150, and it has a 110-second research time. So it's definitely a choice now. It's going to take a while to get, and you're probably going to have to be doing the old factory shuffle.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of at an odd place. I personally don't like the fact that Hellion... switching from your Hellions to your Hellbats, and you can still produce either one. It just has to stay that way. You can't transform them back and forth without this upgrade. And in order to get the upgrade, well, you have to make your way to the armory. And the armory, as a Zerg player anyway, the horrifying prospects of having to deal with a bunch of Hellions and then being like, thank God, I finally got my Mutalisk out. Oh, wait, by the way, they had to get an armory to get there, and Thors are waiting for you.
Well... what you gonna do, Kyle?
So I think the cost was a little steep for having to get an armory in the first place and then having to pay 100 minerals, 100 gas, and 110 seconds.
150 minerals, 150 gas.
Oh, excuse me for discounting that.
Yes, how dare you, because it is very expensive.
It is, but I agree that, we do need to stop a early game map control unit from turning into a death ball unit.
Yeah, it's...
without any sort of investment into it.
Yeah, right. The problem with it was it was too versatile too early on, and now you're gonna have to wait a little longer to be able to switch to and from, if at all. You could choose not to research it. And you can't transform. So, anyways, cool Reddit post this week. Reddit user. OP_is_C_GM_FYI, because people have awesome names, made a list of everything that has changed in Heart of the Swarm since BlizzCon. I love this kind of stuff. For example, the Replicant, gone. Just completely gone. Along with the Warhound. Even though the Warhound made it to the beta, the Replicant, I don't even think made it that far.
Well, the Warhound made it in the front door, but
yeah,
it got pushed out.
Then it tripped over the ottoman and died.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you about countering mech, and you just slam the door in his face.
Leave your Bible at the door.
Another interesting one, Locust could shoot at air when the beta came out.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Oh, I enjoyed that immensely for the brief time it happened.
I bet you did. I bet you did, Kyle.
But, with your Swarm hosts, Hydras, it's just such a great mix to have Locust doing it all for you. It was a little disgusting.
Here's my favorite, how did we ever think this made any sense, was Hydraless speed upgrade at Hive Tech.
Yeah.
We yelled at that became like our weekly soapbox rant. Like every week, why is this still on Hive Tech?
Well, there were no changes to the Infestor at this time. The Viper had an ability where he ripped out his own detection eyeball and stuck it on a unit because there weren't any Overlords anymore. Blinding Cloud reduced vision of units completely. It wasn't a range thing. It was just you couldn't see while you were standing in it. Which I guess works with the blinding, but... So all those sorts of changes really kind of highlighted everything they've been able to do. And this doesn't even touch on the quality of life changes, like the leveling system, the unranked play, which actually there's some really cool statistics that came out this week. Basically, the number of games played actively online right now in StarCraft 2 has been doubled because of the unranked play feature.
Nice. That's great to hear. I'm personally really stoked for it too because I suffer from severe ladder anxiety. I have a prescription for it.
I've never done that, but yeah, I get it. And certainly when I want to off race from time to time, it's going to be an enjoyable feature.
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic addition to the game. In other news, IGN is looking to sell IPL. Which begs the question, would there still be an I in front of the P&L once it's sold?
Oh, good call.
Digital media company Ziff Davis acquired IGN and all of its subsidiaries earlier this month. Originally, it was owned by Rupert Murdoch's News Corp, which I always found so odd that News Corp owned IGN.
Well, IGN is teamed up with Axemen, which is also kind of an odd thing, but IGN has always had that weird hot girls of the day corner of it ever since they were doing game guides back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's a good point. So IPL's not the only thing IPL's not getting the chopping block. They're looking to sell it, but 1UP's going away, UGO's going away, GameSpy's going away.
No, who will host my Age of Empires game? Oh, wait, that was MSN. Who will host my AVP1 game?
Yeah, or I think Borderlands 1 went through GameSpy.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure it did, because I hadn't used GameSpy in decades, and I remember getting Borderlands and being like, what the shit is this? But yeah, so that's sad. I'm really sad to see 1UP go. Their podcasts were among some of my favorites when I first started listening to podcasts. Their old World of Warcraft one was fantastic. But yeah, their
IPL team is a pretty self-contained group, so I don't think they're going to have any trouble finding a buyer or keeping up with their current content. And in fact, they have some events planned in the future, and those don't seem to be going away.
No, IPL 6 is indeed happening, and certain employees of IPL have been talking, like Kevin Naki said, hey everyone, don't worry about us. We're still together. We're still making content. You'll know a lot more soon. And then David Ting, who's the general manager of IPL, just said, thank you everyone for your kind words. We're working with Ziff Davis to find a great home for Pro League, or for IGN Pro League, and we'll announce it when we're ready. So I don't see it going anywhere. I hope to God it doesn't go anywhere, because their finals are just they're the bomb.
Oh yeah, I mean, for American production value right now, they're taking the cake.
Mm-hmm, indeed. So anyway, still planning to go with IPL 6.
And
it's still happening.
We'll probably see IGN, the website itself, refocus into more of a daily iPad newsletter kind of format and stop trying to get involved in games in a competitive sense altogether.
Yeah. But hey, let's move into tournaments that are currently going on, shall we?
Let's do it.
So the GSL Codas is still going on, and it is winding down. But it's not slowing down, because there have been some phenomenal games in what is going to be the final Wings of Liberty of GSL. Personally, had a really good time with the round of 4 this week. Game 4 with Roro versus MC was insane. Like, absolutely crazy. MC got stalker reinforcements at like the perfect time and just got underneath Roro's Broodlords. That it was like this 2-second window, or if he hadn't done what he did with his stalkers in that 2-second window, he would have lost. They ended up taking the game.
Oh, the man's a beast.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Sadly, he did not take the series. Roro did move on, and I have to say, I was rooting for MC for the first time, I think, ever. I was like, MC, come on, do it, because it's the final Wings of Liberty GSL. I wanted MC in the finals.
Yeah.
It just seemed fitting. He sat in the throne for so long.
So do we have our final 2 yet then? Or we still need to wait till tonight, yes, for
right.
Liquid Taja and Roro to play each other.
Roro, yes, exactly. That's, Friday. So, the finals are going to be Saturday, March 9th. And again, here's hoping. No ZVZ. No ZVZ.
Yeah, they're making us wait around a whole 9 days for these finals, but that's pretty standard. They have some up and downs filling in the time in between. But it still sucks to have to sit around for so long. If I were to recommend a game this week, I'm definitely going to say check out Flash versus Rain. It was awesome. Flash, damn, dude. I mean, we heard about this. We talked him down a little bit. Old Brood War player. I don't know him much, but damn, smackdown on Rain. It was incredible. His marine control is out of control, and I am horrified at the prospects of Flash being in the GSL with emergency thrusters, Code S.
Indeed. Again, I mean, we bring it up almost every week now. Is I can't wait to see Heart of the Swarm in the GSL proper, to kind of see it turn. The pro players kind of turn this game on its head, and I'm really curious to see who rises to the top.
Well, in our group of 4, we had a great ZVZ this past week, a very impassioned ZVZ between Symbol and Curious. So
and I was so happy about the outcome of this one.
Sure.
I've been rooting for Symbol all year. Well, I guess all year hasn't been that long, but the majority of 2012 as well. Since he started making a name for himself in GSL, I really wanted to see him make it to the finals, and it looks like we're finally going to see that. So Symbol's,
and this was a tight ZVZ. I mean, these two guys are fighting for the final spot in the finals of Wings of Liberty.
Yep.
And I mean, definitely check out the Code A games. This is all over at GOM TV, by the way. You do need a subscription to check out these games. There are a lot of old seasons that you can check out, but the Code A's are great because people are fighting for a spot in the Code S of a game that hasn't come out yet.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome.
Yes, but they're playing the old game. It's very, very weird. It's like very meta.
Because some of these guys could get there and just suck. I mean, we've seen the MLG show matches. They are not prepared.
Yeah. And if you are new and you're looking for games to watch, you can go to GOM TV and watch the entire GSTL preseason that just happened for free. All of the VODs for that are free. And it's a good kind of entry point, I think. So go check that out. So that's what we watched this week. Pro League still going on. KT Rolster 4-0'd EG Liquid this past Tuesday. This upcoming Monday, though, KT Rolster is going to play STX Seoul, and EG Liquid is going to face off against SKT. So tune in for that. Nothing new with IPTL this week. We're just waiting for the finals to happen between MVP and IM, and that's going to be taking place at IPL 6 in Las Vegas. That starts on March 28th. So we got a little bit to wait to get closer to IPTL. And then the MLG Heart of the Storm Showdown series is still going on, but we have some of our players already from this past week. We know who's moving on. MC is out of the GSL, but you will see him at MLG in Dallas. He's moving on. Taja, Polt, and Sen have all secured spots this past week. So that is awesome. Also tonight, Grubby plays the Maga, and Caliber and Ghost User face off tomorrow, so you can tune into that. over at MajorLeagueGaming.com. So go check all that stuff out. We have emails from you wonderful, wonderful listeners. You're so beautiful. You really are. Even though I can't see you. You might be ugly. I'm not sure.
Well, they're going to be watching us on the Handsome Network. They're handsome.
You're all handsome. Unless you're a lady and then you're pretty. Because I personally find nothing more insulting than saying, oh, that's a handsome woman.
Sigourney Weaver?
No, she's Ripley, man. She's hot.
Okay.
She's hot. I had a serious crush on Sigourney Weaver as a child. So maybe that's why I'm attracted to strong women, because I felt that she could protect me from the xenomorphs.
You just want to hide in her arms?
Protect me. Get in a giant Yellow robot and tell that bitch to get away from me. God, I love those movies.
Hey, we wouldn't have StarCraft without her.
No, we really wouldn't. Our first email this week comes to us from listener Tryptophan. That's
Tryptophan.
my best attempt at pronouncing your weird handle.
I believe that's a drug. Yes, tryptophan.
Is it a drug? Okay. He writes, I started playing StarCraft when Wings of Liberty came out, and it was fun, but now I only play every once in a while because of ladder anxiety. You and me both, man. He said, I'm in gold, and I just don't like playing ranked games. I'll probably get back into the game now with the new unranked game mode. Hey! To the point. I was thinking of getting more into esports, but there are just too many leagues and matches to follow and keep up with. I think the start of Heart of the Swarm would be the best time to pick one league to watch and keep up with, and I was wondering, which one would you recommend? Also, does StarCraft have a version of lolesports.com? I know how much you dislike League of Legends, but I like how easy they made it to follow their esports with the launch of their new season. This one website has the schedule for all the games and game statistics like the players' KDA ratios and the team rankings based on win-loss ratio. It would be nice if there was a version of this for StarCraft, and it would help a lot more people get involved in esports. Signed Tryptophan, who's apparently Zerg, Warlock, Demon Hunter, Draven.
Draven is a League of Legends character. I had to look that up.
Yes, yeah. I don't hate League of Legends. I just prefer Dota. So it's just
sure. Yeah, I mean, we respect it. We're just getting our drugs from another guy.
Exactly. You like this breed of. Stop it with the drug analogies.
What? I didn't do anything. That's the only one I've made other than tryptophan, which Captain Newbing has informed me is in Turkey. That's why I've heard of it. It's that thing that makes you tired.
Oh, crazy. All right. So maybe he's a turtler and he tires you out. Or maybe he just thought it was a cool word and he used it as his handle, which is what a lot of us do. But nonetheless, to his first point, what league would we recommend him watching if he can only watch one? I think we would both say the same exact thing.
Yes. So say it loud and say it proud.
Of all the tournaments, and I like a lot of them for different reasons, and you really can't go wrong with any of them, but the GSL is hands down my favorite. I love it. I love it so much. I've been watching it so long that I understand the format better than any other tournament. I find it very easy to follow. And I personally believe that this is a truth and it is not a bias. They have the best players in the world.
They do, and not only that, but they have the luxury of being local. The players are local. The casters live there. They're always in the same studio. These guys walk into the booths. There's no offline play. There's not that weird sort of limbo where this game was maybe pre-recorded. Maybe even the casters watched it once before they casted it. So a lot of that shock value is gone.
Yeah, exactly. So you can find that at gomtv.net, gomtv.net. Like Kyle was saying, you do need a subscription for it, but it's pretty cheap if you pay for the whole year. I don't even remember, it was like $70 or something for the year. You get every single VOD for the GSL, and it's very much worth it. You can watch the first game of any series for free. So there's that, and like we said, it's just the quality of the game, the quality of the casters, the quality of the production is just par none. It is so wonderful. Keep up with that. Otherwise,
but as you saw in today's show, I mean, we're going to make a little bit more of an effort to help you new players out, new esports watchers, help you guys out to get into this sort of thing. So like we did today, we had, the big 4 tournaments, kind of an update on those. We're going to look to do that sort of thing in the future.
Right.
Kind of remind you what website these things take place at each time.
Indeed. Yeah, we'll try, because we've been getting so many emails from new players, and keep sending them in, starcastshow@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. So instead of having the results area just be a kind of what we watched, if we have a guest on what they watch, we're going to talk about what we watched, and then we're going to do a wrap-up of all the other big tournaments going on. And like I said, tell you where you can go watch them. So as for websites like LOL Esports that have season lineups, statistics, all that stuff, teamliquid.net. Go there.
Yeah. Well,
bookmark it.
Don't just wander in, though. It's a little scary, actually.
There's a lot going on.
This website has been around since Brood War. It has a kind of old Wikipedia-like layout that definitely is not as sexy as this LOL Esports website. I mean, this thing, I poked around it, and, it's got teams I'm familiar with, and I get the ideas. But when you get into, like, the statistics of the team, man, they got it lined out here. Mainly because they have League of Legends has some really definable values. So like you can see which team has, the best gold per minute or XP per minute or kills of heroes in so many games. There's not really that sort of development in StarCraft right now. So you're not going to find anything as pretty as LO Esports, but make sure you go to, all right, I'm going to try to do this whole thing. wiki.teamliquid.net/StarCraft2/Premier Tournaments. This is going to be your rundown.
Premier_tournaments.
Oh, yes. Excuse me. There's no spaces on the internet. Never really understood why. Programming and whatnot.
An easier way to do this is to just go to teamliquid.net, and on their navigation bar, there's a button that says Liquipedia. Hover over that, hit StarCraft 2, and on the right side is tournaments. Upcoming, ongoing, completed. There's links for all of them. They will take you to the page, and there's all the statistics, all the players playing, VODs of the games have already been played, and everything else you could possibly ever want to know.
If you don't want to enter this, check out our show notes. We got it sitting in there.
Yeah, do that. It's wonderful. But yeah, Team Liquid and Liquipedia are your 2 best bets.
I do need to waggle my finger at Blizzard, though, for not updating their esports section. It's a big button on the StarCraft 2 website, but it is currently as the premier series, the World Champion Series that took place several months ago.
Yes. Indeed.
So Liquipedia is your place to check out on up-to-date information.
Or if you don't want spoilers, because Liquipedia is updated to the second, I actually think that their admins can see into the future. They update that fast. If you want spoiler-free access to VODs and whatnot, go to reddit.com/r/spoilerfreesc. It is so much better than our StarCraft, I can't even quantify it with words in the English language. But spoiler-free SC on Reddit is the bomb. It has all of the current tournaments going on, all of the links to the VODs, and best part, no spoilers. So go check that out. All right, our second email for the evening comes to us from Furret. Not ferret, Furret, spelled with a U. Says, hello, Garrett and Kyle. He spelled Garrett right. No one ever does that. 2 R's, 2 T's. Good man. He says, I write to inform you as well as other lore nerds in the StarCast community about a book that Blizzard released some time ago. The book is called StarCraft 2 Flashpoint, and it covers the lore of StarCraft 2 between Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. So you don't wonder, how the hell did we get where Heart of the Swarm picks the story up? However, I feel the urge to warn you that to me, the book did not seem very good story-wise, as well as how it's written. Even though it's written in third person, it focuses a lot about Jim Raynor's feelings, and God, what feelings they are. It seems like the artifact had a side effect. Besides making Kerrigan some sort of human again, it also melted Raynor's brain and, in his words, burnt his testicles to a crisp because he's totally acting like a retarded soap opera girl star. Again, his words, not mine.
I love it.
Making wrong calls for wrong reasons pretty much the entire book. On the other hand, the behavior of Matt Horner and Manx Jr., Prince Varian, is interesting and important to the story. Also, a lot of other important stuff happens with a bunch of badly written space battles and so on. He says, I don't want to spoil too much. I would like to know your opinion on Blizzard not picking up the expansion where they left with Wings and instead releasing this not even good book, in his opinion, and practically making people buy it by throwing important information in there. Love the show. It's making commuting bearable for a long, long time. Thank you, Furret. All right, Furret.
Well, thank you for the warning, first of all.
Yes. Also, I haven't read Flashpoint, so it's hard for me to comment. But I can defend from a certain standpoint, because I also am a WoW player. And they did a similar thing between the expansions of Cataclysm and... what's the new one? Mists of Pandaria. There was a book called Tides of War, I believe. And I did read that one, and it's the same author, actually. And I thought it was a pretty good book. The thing is I'm not against any stories, any second story, sequel, continuation, whatever, not picking up exactly where it left off. A lot of movies do that. Like, very, very few movies pick up immediately where you left off.
Sure, it's become more stylish in the past 5 years.
Well, no, I mean, between Alien and Aliens, there's like a century. Between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, it's been quite a while.
I'm trying to
Jaws and Jaws 2.
Hey, watch IP Man. That's a good movie that starts with a sequel right after the first one ends.
All right, do you have any others?
I'm trying to think. Well, I mean,
besides Lord of the Rings, which is pretty much one big story.
Sure. Well, you have Aliens 2 to Aliens 3, where she just falls asleep and immediately wakes up in the next situation.
I'd like to ignore that movie for the most part. There are some cool parts, but dear God, way to ruin everything that happened in 2.
With the slowest, longest fall ever, because it's popping out of her chest.
Yeah. But a lot of, I don't know, this is really common, so it doesn't really bother me. Because usually you can still surmise what happened in between from the information given to you in the game, and you don't have to go read the book. If you're a total lore nerd, you can go read the book and get a little extra bang for your buck.
I am a little... I do take his word with quite a bit of credit, though, because third person and still dealing with emotions, that's weird.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a weird writing style.
But actually, on the StarCraft 2 website, they've been putting out a bunch of short stories every day. And these are actually pretty good. Particularly check out The Teacher they put out this past week. If you are a Zerg fan, you'll really love it, because it's basically a doctor working with a single Hydralisk in kind of a, zoo-like situation.
Nice.
And it doesn't get cutesy or anything, or they bond. No, I mean, it's a vicious creature that she kind of reaches out to. Kind of like those guys who... Or like that one guy who was crying because the lion recognized him and they gave a big hug after 10 years.
Is this Project Blackstone you're talking about?
No, this is on the official website.
Oh, it's one of their short stories?
Yeah, they've been pumping about one a day recently, leading up to the release.
Another good example of what Furt's talking about, sort of, is the Halo series. There's a book called The Fall of Reach, which came out way before the Reach game was even hinted
I remember that getting a lot of buzz, actually.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal book, and I highly recommend it. It's kind of what solidified my frothing at the mouth Halo fandom. But because I have never picked up an extended universe book about a video game in my life. And then my buddy, my roommate at the time in college, was like, dude, you should read Fall of Reach. Just do it. You'll like it. And what it does is it sets up the whole Halo universe before the events of Halo 1, and it does a brilliant job. But when you play Halo 1, you're fine. You get the basic gist of things. You don't need to know all that, but it can be a richer experience if you do. So, I don't know. I'm not against this type of thing. It doesn't really bother me.
That book was also adding to rather than making assumptions, and that's where things get kind of difficult. I highly doubt you've ever read Forgotten Realms books.
No.
And those ones just assume you've read everything that he's ever written, and it is just a pile of names.
So it's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that has a hyphen R. Oh, that's a different guy, is it? Well, maybe I would have known that if you hadn't changed the characters 5 times in the last 2 chapters.
That's how I felt the first time ever going through Lord of the Rings. I have not read the books. I've read The Hobbit, and that was enough Tolkien for me. He's very slow and almost too descriptive. But I remember watching the movies for the first time and just being like, I don't get all the characters. Why are both bad guys' names incredibly similar to one another?
Oh, well, I mean, The Hobbit, that's at least you have a lot of different races in The Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit with the whole Baradin, Theradin, Meriden, Creridan, like, it's just too much.
Yeah, I kind of glazed over a bit, which isn't to say I don't absolutely love that entire universe. I can't wait for the next Hobbit movie. But anyways, that's my piece on it.
I need my necromancer fix already.
Oh, yes. I want to see Cumberbatch so bad. So do you have any closing thoughts on this email, Kyle?
No, I'm kind of sad to hear it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I might still read it. It's been on my list, but I don't know that I'm going to have time in the next 12 days to tear through this thing. So,
and honestly, I'm already expecting this. I mean, Raynor's probably going to take a lot of heat in this next game for being a little whiny. But frankly, I think we all would be if our significant other suddenly had superpowers, or or came back from what you assumed
always
was
had
the dead
superpowers, though.
Either way, I mean, it's she's dealing with a lot of crap that basically she has every right to say you don't understand.
Yep,
and that's hard to deal with.
I don't know. I like the reversal of what we see as kind of generic role. Like I'm trying not to sound sexist, but like traditionally you've got the woman who's hung up on the man. In if you just make a really lame kind of by the cards like old style action thing,
sure, well, the movie test we've all heard about.
Exactly.
Do 2 women without a man in the room talk about anything other than a man?
Exactly. That you illustrated my point. Great. And I like that they're kind of reversing roles here. Raynor, who is this big, muscle-bound, gruff, scary-looking human being who has done very heroic things, is kind of he is the one who's obviously more invested in this relationship. He really wants his happy ending, and I'm not sure. It actually reminds me of Count of Monte Cristo. Like Kerrigan can't get over her lust for revenge enough to realize what she could have with Raynor. So
look at you, a gold star in English class there.
I love the Count of Monte Cristo, but I'm really anxious to see how that's going to kind of play out.
Well, and there's been people complaining about the size of Kerrigan's breasts. And are you serious?
What?
Like, yeah, she's a little perfectly formed, but you know what? I don't have shoulders 4 feet wide. My arms aren't as thick as frickin' tree trunks. I mean, there's some discrepancies here.
All right, thank you. That's a good point. That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, most dudes don't look like the dudes in that series look like, and most girls do not look like what the girls in that series look like. It's exaggerated proportions. It's superhero proportions. Go read DC Comics. That's the same proportions they're using. They're these heroic proportions. Broad chests, voluptuous women, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I try not to get too hung up on it. And like Captain Newbing said, it's art style. Get over it.
Fine quote.
If you don't like scantily clad women, you probably don't enjoy fantasy or sci-fi in the first place. Not that I don't think we should move away from that, but...
No, and I mean, other than like Carapace heels, which she uses to kick people in the face.
I do find the Carapace heels a little stupid.
They're a little ridiculous. But frankly, if I was made all the way out of Carapace, I'd have giant frickin' Carapace muscles. And you know what? Those do crap. Carapace isn't muscle. If I had giant shoulder blades made of bug juice, it wouldn't help me at all, but damn it, I'd sport them. And I'd probably add a frickin' like creep cape, because that'd be sweet. And like as I fling it, the creep spreads. I just walk. It'd be beautiful.
Oh, wondrous. That brings us to the end of the show. Someone make Kyle a creep cake. Bill Duran, get on that. So
King of Blades.
There is the King of Blades, indeed. Maybe he'll make himself a creep cape. Right, that is the end of the show. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Thanks to our guest, Bill Duran. Please go check out Punish Props and see all of his wonderful goodies and commission something from him. If you're a cosplayer or if you just want an awesome Hydra skull hanging on your wall, give him an email. If you have not left us an iTunes review, please do so. It really helps out the show so much. If you're a podcast listener, it's the best way to help us get new listeners. Really appreciate it. Coming up, so much crap. We usually do the coming up at the end of the show, but we did it at the top of the show, so you kind of know. Next week, Desro. Launch week, Jim Raynor. The week after that, the 3 weeks after that, Noobisodes. Get on it. StarCast is a production of amove.tv. Go to amove.tv for many, many other awesome shows like The Gamers Inn, This Week in Blizz with Kyle and myself, and Biggest Fan with Kyle. There's a the in front, StarCast.com, because StarCast.com was taken, is the place to go for our forums, our archives, our t-shirts, and more. We have new shirts from slashloot.com. Slash is spelled out. Go there, pick up a new shirt. Pick up the Tychus Stim Shade shirt. I'm a big fan of that as well. It's also my design. You can catch us live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. No longer at AMove TV. You can catch us on twitch.tv/TheHandsomeNerd. Go follow them right now. See all of our VODs on youtube.com/StarCastShow, and you can email us at starcastshow@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at The StarCast, me at Garrett Art, Kyle at Kyle Ferguson. And big thanks to our production crew, Octane Pro and Captain Noobing, for all of that they do for this wonderful, wonderful show. Wouldn't be nearly as wonderful without those two guys. Kyle, where can people find you?
You can find me over at Biggest Fan Podcast, where you have 1 week to follow the fad that's driving you mad. This past week was Stephen King. Oh, man, that was tough to do in a week. But I got caught up on quite a bit of movies I'd never seen before. Shawshank Redemption, The Mist. I survived. I did not kill myself after watching The Mist.
I love and hate that movie so much.
Absolutely.
It is so much better than it has any right to be and ends so much worse than it should have.
It's like Zurg Silent Hill.
Yeah, and the thing that irks me the most about the ending is that it's not how it ended in the book. But,
nope. But it made a good film, and Stephen King really liked that for the movie version. And, of course, it's what Half-Life is based off of, which is real frickin' sweet.
Yeah, it is. It is the best Half-Life movie we'll never see.
So check that out. That was Stephen King Week on Biggest Fan. That'll be actually posted tomorrow. We're getting that pulled together quite nicely. And next week will be Hometowns Week, where we're basically just going to be talking about some, casual growing up and stuff.
And they can catch you live Wednesdays at what time?
At 7 p.m. Eastern.
On amove.tv/live, so go check them out. Big thanks to our sponsors, doghousesystems.com, tweakedaudio.com, and SC2quoteoftheday.com. Our code is StarCast. It gets you double memory in your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. You can join that with the code Kerrigan to be entered for a chance to win our guest today, Bill's beautiful Kerrigan Ghost Rifle. And that same code gets you 30% off and free shipping on your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from tweakedaudio.com. They have many different styles, many different colors, and I love them to death. Did I tell you I started working out again? I was going to brag to Bill, and I forgot. Instead, I just told him I had Taco Bell for dinner, and now I feel like he's like, ugh.
That kind of defeated the point.
Yes. Well, no, because it would have been worse had I eaten Taco Bell and not worked out at all.
Sure. Well, and, getting the actual habit going.
Exactly.
Is the most important thing to have.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is I love my Tweaked Audio earbuds for working out, and their non-tangling flat cords are just wondrous. And then finally...
I stuff these things in my pocket every day, pull them out with no trouble.
Yeah. And then SC2quoteoftheday.com. Go check them out for your daily fix of quotes from the StarCraft 2 community. You can follow them on Twitter at SC2quotes and check out their store on their website. We thank them very much for their support. And we'll see you next week on the Handsome Nerd Network with Desro. Good luck and have fun, everyone.
You have 7 hours. Get to level 5 so you can get the portraits.